In this video, you will learn how to carry out on-page SEO content audits for your website and web pages. Yes, I'll be sharing with you how you can effectively conduct an SEO content audit for critical web pages on your website, such as your home page, service page, as the case may be. And to do that, I will be using a web development company's website as a case study. Now, I would like you to watch this video to the end so that you don't miss out on any of the important detail as far as carrying out on-page SEO content audit for your websites or web pages is concerned. Now, before we jump into that, a quick introduction. My name is the Great Michael from SEO Content Guy, a channel dedicated towards creating compelling content that revolve around SEO, content writing, and content marketing. So, if those subjects are things you are interested in or you are passionate about, I would like you to smash the subscribe button so that whenever I publish videos like this, you get to see them and consume them. All right, without further ado, let's jump into it. All right, like I said, I'll be showing you how you can practically carry out an on-page SEO content audit on your website. Yes, I'll be doing that using Cookart Create as a case study. Yes, Cookart Create is a web and app development company. So I'll be using them as a case study. The first thing I will do to carry out an on-page SEO content audit on this particular web page. You can see we are on the home page of Cookart Create. The first thing to do is to first check the structure of this particular web page. You can see what we have here. And to do that, I'm going to use a free SEO Chrome extension to check the structure of this particular web page. And the name of that extension is Detailed SEO Chrome extension. As you can see, I have Detailed SEO Chrome extension installed on my Google browser. You can see. So I'll simply click on it. All right, you can see the interface has popped up, Detailed SEO. Now it's giving us an overview of this web page. You can see we have the title of this particular web page, we have the description of this particular web page, we have the URL, we have the canonical, we have robot tag, and all of that. All right. Now, I want to check out the headings of this particular web page, which is the home page of Cookart Create. Now you can see the home page we have here. We have that is H3 tag. You can see we have the H3 tag that is custom mobile app and websites. We have the H3 tag. We have projects. We also have another H3 tag, client feedback. We also have another H3 tag that is the FAQ. And finally, we have H2 tag, still have questions. All right. Now, looking at the headings of this particular web page, it's obvious that Cookart Creates need to optimize their home page for SEO. Now, they are leaving money on the table as regard home page SEO. Looking at this particular text, custom mobile apps and website, you can see this is an H3 according to what we have on Detailed SEO. Custom mobile apps and websites. That is an H3. But ideally, since it is the first heading on this particular web page, ideally, it ought to be an H1. It ought to be an H1. That is the first heading on this particular web page. Now, looking at this particular one, our projects. Now, based on the analysis we've done using the Detailed SEO Chrome extension, you can see that this is an H3 tag. And looking at this client's feedback. All right. Now, starting with this particular one, this ought to be an H1. Yes, if I'm to optimize this particular web page for SEO, I'm going to tweak this to an H1 heading. This particular title, custom mobile apps and websites. I'm going to tweak it to an H1 heading. But the question is, this particular keywords, is it based on research? Where I did a research and I came up with a couple of keywords that Cookart Creative can actually use.
Now, talking about the H1, you can impute something like leading website and app development company in Nigeria and beyond, considering the fact that Cookart Create is a web development company that is based in Nigeria. To look at here, you can see Lagos, Nigeria. Now, considering that this particular heading, which ought to be an H1, if I'm to work on this particular page, I'm going to tweak it into this text. That is leading website development company in Nigeria and beyond. Considering the fact that in as much as Cookart Creative is catering for businesses in Nigeria, they are also open to international clients. Yes. And looking at this particular test, they can actually work on this test, can improve this particular test, do some SEO copywriting on this particular the text beneath the H1. All right. And looking at this, our projects, looking at this particular heading, our projects, yes, they can actually include keywords into this particular heading to give it SEO relevance, to make it SEO optimized. All right, because search engines like Google get to know what your page is all about through your headings, the keywords in your headings, how you structure your website. So that being said, to make this particular heading SEO optimized, what I will do is instead of just our project, they can tweak it into something like our web and app development projects. Then the text beneath that particular heading explore few of our successful projects that demonstrates our creativity. They can do some SEO copywriting here to make it more compelling. All right. Now we can see the projects, what they've worked on. You can see Niger Data Connect. This is a web app development project. Then this one it's a mobile and app development project. All right, you can see they've got some very good portfolios. They've got some very good projects they've successfully executed. All right. Okay, the buttons are okay. They're very visible. They're obvious. This particular one. Okay. Then view more projects. All right, that is a call to action to view other projects. Now, considering this heading, clients feedback. This heading, they can make it SEO optimized too. They can tweak this particular heading and make it more SEO optimized. They can say something like, okay, what our clients are saying about our web and app development service. All right. You can see what our satisfied clients are saying about our app and web development service. You can see we've been able to include this particular keyword in that heading by doing that web application and development service. All right, these are ways that they can actually incorporate keywords into this particular web page in a very natural way that doesn't sound as though they are trying to stuff keywords into this web page. Now, considering this FAQ section, it's a very good one because FAQ section on web pages help to optimize a particular web page for voice search. Yes, that is one of the advantage of FAQs. Now, but to make this particular heading, this FAQ section more SEO optimized and compelling, they can use something like questions you possibly have about building and designing your next big website or app project. All right, you can see this particular heading that says it is SEO optimized yet compelling. Doing that to allow Cookart Create to get into the mind of their prospective audience. Yes, to get into their mind. Yes, that yes, we understand questions that you most likely we have based on our experience, based on the number of clients we've been able to deal with, we've been able to interact with. These are some of the questions that most likely you have in your head. Now, you can see the questions they have here. How do I get started? You can see how do I get started? Click here to get started if you want to build a mobile app or website. All right. This one is what types of startups do you work for? It's a very good question. Yes. How long does it take to go from idea to prototype? You can see how much does your service cost? Do you provide support after prototype is completed? Can you help with marketing my startup and creating a brand identity? You can see where some of the questions here are pretty good, they are pretty fine. Yes, but Bookart Creative can add questions like, okay, don't forget I said they can trick their heading into this. Questions you possibly have about building and designing your next big website or app projects. All right, you can include FAQs like this. How much does your web and app development service cost? All right, how long does it take to build or design an app or website? What is your development process? How do you ensure quality? Okay, do you provide post-launch support or maintenance? Can you provide examples of your work or clients' references? All of these questions are things they can use H3 for. Don't forget, this FAQ, the heading ought to be an H2 tag, considering the fact that, yes, on a web page, it's advisable, it's according to SEO best practice that you only have one H1 tag, and that is usually the title. To work on this particular heading will be tweaked into an H1, and the rest beneath this particular headings will be H2 heading, and that applies to this FAQ section too. So the question can be in H3 tag, the question beneath the FAQ. One more thing about this particular web page. All right, I can see that the images are pretty fine, they're pretty cool, looking nice. You can see this particular one, this one here. This is the CEO of this particular brand. You can see he's standing looking at a whiteboard. We can say it's in a very analytical mode, but we want to check if these images are optimized beyond the fact that pretty good, pretty fine. We want to check out and ensure that these images are optimized for SEO. Now, the question is, how do you do that? Check out if this particular image is optimized for SEO. That is, if it has been named properly. We can simply do that by right-clicking on the image, then clicking the inspect option. You can see the inspect option here. We click the inspect option. You can see the image here. Looking at this, you have the current source, https cookart.create.com. You can see upload. You can see the image name. You can see Cookart Create header. You can see this is the image name. Cookart Create can optimize that particular image. All right. Now it can give description even about the alternate text as far as this image is concerned. Yes, Cookart Create can better optimize this image for SEO by naming it appropriately and adding a proper alternate text for this particular image. Now let's continue. This image too, you can do same for this image to check if the images are properly optimized for SEO. Okay. Also, another thing to take notes of this particular web page is the wordings. Cookart Creative can actually flesh out the wordings of this particular web page. Yes, can make it more engaging in a way that users will feel as though someone is actually communicating with them. Can make it more compelling. Talk about the pain points if possible. Like, for example, now, yes, in the subtext to these headings, Cookart Creative can actually create contents that speak to the heart of their prospective audience, of a business who wants to develop their website or app, as the case may be. Look at this subtext of this particular heading. You can actually flesh it out to make it more compelling and relatable to their prospective audience. All right, now let's go back to GT SEO Chrome extension as we wrap up the on-page SEO for this home page. You can see, looking at this, you can see the meta description, helping startups build their mobile and web apps ideas. It's a nice one, but they can still work on it. They can still tweak it into something more compelling. All right, that is for the home page. Now let's quickly check the service page. You can see the service page. We have websites, app design and development, then brand design. All right, let's check the websites. All right, looking at this particular web page, you can see it's a sub page under the service section of Bookart Creates websites. All right, so we are going to analyze this particular web page following the same procedure we took when we audited the home page itself. All right, and to do that, I'm going to use the detailed SEO Chrome extension to check the structure of this particular web page. All right. So here is the detailed SEO Chrome extension. All right, you can see the interface of detailed SEO extension has popped up. So you can see we have the title for this particular web page, website Bookart Creates. We have the description, that is the meta description for this particular web page. Looking at the description, website we create custom tailor to your business needs that also attract. All right. Actually, this particular meta description can be worked on to make it more compelling. But we want to check the structure of this particular web page. So we are going to go to the heading tabs of the detailed SEO Chrome extension. All right, you can see what we have. We have H3, that is websites. H4, we have starter plan. We have H1, H1 $600. That is the amount to be paid if you go for the starter plan. Then you can see we have H4 premium plan. We have another H1 $1,500. That is the amount to be paid if you go for the premium plan, as you can see here. All right. Now, looking at that, it's obvious that this particular web page has not been properly optimized for SEO. All right. To do that, the first thing we need to do, based on the analysis we've gotten from the detailed SEO Chrome extension, is to tweak this particular keyword, that is website. Ideally, on a web page, the first heading that starts that particular web page ought to be the H1. But according to DKSU, the website is H3. So we are going to tweak this heading into an H1 tag. But beyond that, we don't want to leave it at just websites. We can tweak it into something like our website's design and development service. Now, doing that allows us to optimize this particular heading for the keyword website design and development service. All right. That being said, this particular subtext beneath the heading, we can also make it more compelling. And if possible, beneath all of these different plans, we can also include testimonials here to make it compelling, to make the prospects want to actually take one of these plans. We can make it more compelling by including testimonials. It could be a video testimonial, or as the case may be. That way, it makes this page more compelling. So because of time, we might not be able to check all of these pages: app design and development, brand design. But essentially, the same procedure we took to audit the home page itself and this particular web page, that we can still use to audit the other pages, such as the app design and development page, the brand design. All right, because of time, we might not be able to go more than this, but that is how you can practically carry out an on-page SEO content audit on your critical web pages, such as your home page, your service page, or any other pages on your website. And that includes your blog posts.
All right, that is how you can practically carry out on-page SEO content audits for your website and your web pages. Now, if you got value from this video, I would like you to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell icon, so that whenever I publish videos like this, you get to see them and consume them. In my subsequent videos, I will be sharing on-page SEO audits like this, so you can expect more valuable videos like this. Until then, see you on the next one.